As an employer, you probably know that income withholding orders are part of doing business these days.
Children need to be taken care of, and one of the best ways of doing that is to collect child support through an IWO.
In this segment, we will walk through the basics of the IWO.
Income withholding begins when you, an employer, receive a notice and/or order to withhold income for child support. Income withholding for child support is no longer considered a garnishment and is no longer only for delinquent payers. It is a common yet important part of many people's lives, whether they live in Oklahoma or not.
All employers must honor a child support income withholding notice from another state as long as it appears to be a valid legal document. This has been expanded to include U.S. territories, tribal courts, and in some cases, foreign countries.
Here are 4 steps to follow when you receive a notice order to withhold income for child support. First, document the date of receipt.
This is important. Withholding must begin on the next payment of income to the employee after you receive the notice. Payments must be sent to the Oklahoma Centralized Support Registry, also known as the State Disbursement Unit, within 7 business days after payday.
Next, give a copy of the notice order to withhold income for child support to the employee. Oklahoma no longer sends a copy to the non-custodial parent due to budgetary constraints.
Next, determine if it appears to be a valid legal document. If the document appears to be a legal document, then it is considered valid and you must honor the notice.
Then, follow the terms of the notice. Remember that although child support is not a garnishment itself, it is paid before all other garnishments, with one exception, an IRS tax levy. However, if you receive a tax levy, please contact the OKESC or your local OCSS office as soon as possible. Also, a higher percentage of an employee's paycheck can be withheld for child support than other garnishments.
Once an employee is no longer employed by, being paid by, or providing services to the employer, Oklahoma Child Support Services, OCSS, must be notified within 10 days. Also, if an employee terminates before the notice order to withhold income for child support is received, the employer must notify OCSS within 10 days of receiving the notice. The employer must provide the employee's last known address and, if known, new employment information.
Now, let's answer some frequently asked questions. What should I do if I receive a notice that has a different name than my employee, but the Social Security number matches? Please call the issuing agency listed on the notice order to withhold income for child support for instructions. If the notice is an Oklahoma notice, please call 1-866-553-2368. The Oklahoma Employer Services Center staff will help you contact the appropriate agency.
Our next question is, can I combine payments from different employees into the same check? Yes, you can. However, you must list the name, Social Security number, and amount withheld for each employee and mail with the check.
What do I do if I receive a second notice order to withhold income for child support for the same child or children, but from a different state? If you receive a second income withholding notice for the same employee and you determine it is for the same family, first determine if the second notice is for arrears or medical support only. When it is for arrears or medical support only, and there is enough allowable disposable income to cover both notices, give a copy of the second notice to your employee and begin withholding from the second notice in addition to the first.
If there's not enough allowable disposable income to cover the second notice, notify the issuing agency of the situation. When the notice is for current support, you should continue to honor the first income withholding notice. After supplying the employee with a copy of the second notice, call the agency listed on the second notice and inform them that you are already withholding, and let them know the amount and the place where you are remitting the payments.
Then contact the original issuing agency and inform them of the second notice. Continue withholding from the original notice until you receive documentation to do otherwise from that issuing agency.
Next, what should I do if an employee wants to make a voluntary deduction from his or her paycheck for child support? Please direct the employee to the Oklahoma Department of Human Services website, okdhs.org. They can make payments through automatic bank account withdrawal or by credit or debit card on a one-time or ongoing basis. You cannot withhold child support from their paycheck without a notice of income withholding issued by Oklahoma Child Support Services or a court.
Here's our next question. Can I charge an administrative fee for this? Yes. According to Oklahoma law, you may deduct $5 per pay period, not to exceed $10 a month for administrative cost. However, this fee must come from the employee's pay, not from the child support award.
What do I do if the employee disputes the child support notice? Direct the employee to contact the issuing agency or person listed on the notice to address any problems or grievances.
What do I do if the custodial person keeps calling to find out where the check is? Please have the custodial person call the Care Center, 405-522-2273, if the custodial person is located in the Oklahoma City area, or 918-295-3500 for the Tulsa area. For persons in other parts of the state, please call 1-800-522-2922. The staff at CARE can answer questions from the custodial person concerning his or her case, including when the payment was received by the state disbursement unit and when it was mailed out or deposited.
What do I do if my employee is called up on active military duty? Please notify the issuing agency listed on the notice order to withhold income for child support immediately. If contact information is not included and the notice is issued in Oklahoma, please contact the OKESC at 1-866-553-2368.
What should I do if we rehire an employee who has a child support notice? Begin withholding child support according to the original notice upon rehiring until you hear from Oklahoma Child Support Services. By law, you must retain the notice order to withhold income for child support on any employee after they have left your employ, according to your document retention policies.
For more information, view our other helpful videos at okesc.org.
Or please contact one of our employer services representatives toll-free at 1-866-553-2368, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Let us know how we can help you.